Can you tell us about the decision to relieve Bob Dice of his duties?
Yeah, obviously a tough decision when you're replacing your head coach. It's someone that you've worked with and believed in, and just the relationship you have with them and the relationship he has with the organization and the amount of time he's put in here. It doesn't go lightly in the decision, but felt the change was needed and felt this was the best way to move forward.
When did you make the decision?
Finalized this week. You're always evaluating through a season and whatnot, but finalized with the thought process and what we need to go through to make those decisions this week.
So Bob realized before last game that this, he was going to be let go?
I can't speak to what Bob realized or didn't. I do know Bob has been in the business long enough and knows what we sign up for, just like I do. And all of us aren't happy with where we're at. It's not acceptable. It's not what we want for our organization, and with that, changes come.
What was the decision or discussion with him like when you told him?
Oh, he professional. Gets it. It's always a difficult discussion. It's one person receiving feedback and then the other person communicating back, right? So nothing short of what I expected out of Bob with the relationship we have and who he is as a person, and showed a lot of gratitude for the opportunity he got. Still has a ton of belief in the people within this organization and wished us all well, and just a good conversation to end our time here together.
What's the status of the remaining coaching staff?
Coaching staff, my philosophy on the coaching staff is a head coach is in charge of his staff. So that's being communicated to our coaching staff that the new hire will have full control of the staff that he wants to bring on. The realities of our league are most coaches are on one-year contracts, but no matter what that is, the head coach will dictate who his staff is.
What changed in the last year? Like you signing for extension for Bob Dyke. What changed in the last year to come at this decision today?
Well, I think we all know we're a performance-based business, and we didn't perform up to the standards, right? So we expect more. Our ownership expects more. Our fan base expects more, and you're always evaluating each and every week. You don't take a decision like this lightly. You're not only impacting the person you're making decisions on lives, but players, the rest of the staff members you just talked about, but you got to do what's best for the organization, and this is what we felt was best to get to the next level as an organization.
How much responsibility do you take for what went down this season?
Oh, definitely. It starts with me, right? At the end of the day, I'm the GM that runs the football operations side. You have to take responsibility, or that's not leadership in my eyes. And I rely on feedback from our management team, our ownership team, self-reflection, people I trust in the business. We'll sit there and have the exit interviews with a lot of players today and tomorrow, and evaluate and take lessons learned and go from there.
What are the
a thought to do this earlier in the season, just because the record wasn't good from the get-go, kind of?
Yeah, I think you got to look as the season goes, and especially in the front half of our season, there were some factors beyond his control that I would say attributed to some of our start. You're always going to look at things and discuss things, but no, we felt this was the team we wanted to put together, and Bob was the coach of this team, and that was the way we're going to go.
What factors are you referencing?
We started off injury-wise with a lot of guys definitely on the injured list. Not an excuse, but you have to look at factors in that, and to have some of the numbers that we had out at the beginning of the year, definitely, you had to weigh into some decision-making.
Does it mean that you think that your team could have done better this year?
I think we all think we could have done better, right? You don't go in the season wanting to be 4-14, and what happens now is why it didn't get better, and you got to change why it didn't get better, and that's my responsibility. I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be able to explore that, and I don't take it lightly, and I expect to hit the ground running today of looking forward to the 2026 season.
So how does it get better?
like every year, I know it sounds cliche, but you got to do a deep dive. You get stuck in the season of week by week, right? You're trying to win every week, and you're focused on that week, that opponent, and then when you get through the season, you can do a deep dive in the entire season and really digging deep and looking at things, evaluating all departments, seeing what went right and wrong. You got to collect feedback. At the end of the day, I believe in feedback. Ultimately, there's a couple people making the decisions here, but you got to get some feedback, and that's why you do things. You don't do them for the sake of doing them. You do them because you believe in them. But we will sit down here. We'll go through things. We'll come up with a plan. It starts with hiring the head coach, and one of the reasons you hire someone new is to have a fresh set of eyes, and part of those fresh set of eyes might think better of certain things and might be more realistic of where you are at certain things, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is to start that relationship and get that feedback and work together to get where we need to go here.
Where are you at with the quarterback situation, starting with Drew Brown?
Well, Drew's under contract for next year. I think I talked to it a couple weeks ago. We got to get him healthy, and we need to have our quarterback on the field for more games in the season. 8 out of 18, it just isn't enough games for a starting quarterback, and that's not a Drew thing. That's an organizational thing. We have to look at how we do things and what we do, and through practice, through media, or through medical, and through the off season. So we'll do that. I know no one wants to do more than Drew, and excited to get to see what he thinks about his off season and chat with him through that. And then of course the other quarterbacks, much like the CFL, are free agents, and we get to evaluate all of them. Dustin probably the most, and then Tyree and Matt as well.
What
And
kind of
one-
qualities will you be looking for in a head coach?
First, leadership. They got to be able to lead the organization. They're the daily voice. Obviously, I think the GM provides a blueprint, but the coach is the day-to-day leader of your organization. And for them to manage the players, manage the staff day-to-day, and give direction to them as where we're headed and where we want to go, that's first and foremost. It starts with that. Obviously, football IQ, intellect, knowing the game, all sides of the ball, being able to facilitate all three sides of the ball, and those sort of things. And then obviously just a guy that loves this game, has a passion for it. You want someone that wants to be here and looks at it of, I want to be the head coach and a 3-time Grey Cup champion in the next 5 years, right? And, that's what we're ultimately doing. Just like every other team in the league, there's 9 teams trying to win Grey Cups every year. That has to be our goal. Our goal is not to get 1 or 2 wins better. That's not good enough. We need to compete for Grey Cup championships every year.
And the first thing you said was leadership. With regards to the players on this team, when there were those injuries, do you think the leaders stepped up when needed?
Yeah, I never questioned our players' effort on film. I do think we have some great leaders here. I don't know if leadership's equated to the injuries per se, but I do know the guys that stepped in their time. The leaders took the guys that were young and maybe not as ready to play and helped them prepare to get ready for those games.
Just on your back, you was confirmed yesterday by Adrian Sierra. Does that come with an extension?
I'm just working, man. I'm working day to day. That's what I worry about. And, my job's to make this organization better, just like everyone else has contract stuff. I'm going to work each and every day until they tell me I can't work here anymore.
Presuming that you're going to wait till the end of the season to see who's available to be your next head coach with the other teams, is Rick Campbell a guy that you're going to look at as a consideration?
I think we got to keep our minds open for everyone right now, right? It's collecting a list, and obviously I'd be lying to you guys if I haven't internally started some thoughts in my head. But the way the CFL process works with the league rules and everything is it's a very crunch period where you get permissions from other teams and stuff. So I think you'll see the first little bit be a little quiet, and then it'll amp up as the playoffs and the season end. But you know, we're collecting data right now, names right now. We're doing background, and we'll have several candidates.
Do you see a need for significant player changes? Just to, whether it's to change the culture or just the mindset?
Yeah, I wouldn't dispute our culture. I think our players and our coaching staff have developed a great culture in the walls, the mindset, and you know, and winning, definitely. You know, what change that means, I don't think that's a fair question for me to answer. It's a fair question to ask, but not for me to answer, because you have to have the head coach involvement. And if I'm bringing someone in to be our head coach and I did make all these decisions before he gets here, how is that a partnership, right? So like I was saying about a fresh set of eyes, it'll give a different glance to things. Maybe they've prepped against our players that notice some strengths or deficiencies that allow us to openly converse. You know, I do know that as a general manager, you have to evaluate players every year, and the players know that. I said that to them today, right? Is we have to look at getting better. It's not acceptable. We need to be better, and we will be better.
Is it harder to retain some free agency or to sign or attract people when you have that kind of a result year after year? We missed the playoff in 5 times in the last 6 years. Is it harder for you to retain guys or sign guys that want to come here?
I think you've looked at some of the free agents we brought here, right? From the time I've got here, is I think it's one of my strengths is recruiting and bringing guys in and believing in a vision. We've been able to retain our guys. You know, you look last night, 2 receivers went over 1,000 yards. One was a free agent acquisition. One was a guy brought in by us. William Stanback had a strong game last night, free agent acquisition, right? So I'm willing to compete and try to attract whoever we need to help us win here.